Hey guys, welcome to Herding Little Cows to the Glory of God. My name's Sarah, married to Mark. We have 8 kids at home, 10 kids total, and this is a part of the Cultivating a Biblical Home. And so I talked about the first part would be for a husband and wife to have a united front. Knowing that the scriptures say that we are supposed to be acting in a Christian, Christ-like way all the time, and that we are supposed to be teaching our children when we rise up, when we lie down, when we walk by the way. It's very important that you are trying to build this home atmosphere of a Christian biblical home. But what if you're starting when you already have multiple kids in the house and this is something new? And so we're walking through the steps. So the first step is united front with your husband. Second step is prayer. I want these things to be something that you can start right now. What can you start today? And in the Bible, it talks about we should always be in an attitude of prayer. We should be praying without ceasing. But also the one verse that I really wanted to mention is in James, and it's James 1, 5. If any of you lacks wisdom, let him ask God, who gives generously to all, without reproach, and it will be given to him. But let him ask in faith, with no doubting, for the one who doubts is like the wave of the sea that is driven and tossed by the wind. So it says, if you need wisdom in something, just ask God. Know that God can give you the answer to that. So while I can make this series and I can lay out, here's something that I would do, here's, things that it tells us in the Bible, principles it tells us in the Bible of what our lives should look like as Christians, I can't do that for your home. And so you can, at this moment, go pray and ask God, God, please help me to make our home a more biblical place. Please help me change things in this home that we weren't doing correctly. Maybe we weren't disciplining. Maybe we weren't doing family worship. Maybe I wasn't being consistent in my prayer life and my reading of the Bible. You can go to God right now and ask him to help you to be diligent in those things, knowing that he can change those in your life. God is big enough, great enough, whatever you want to say, for our salvation. And then we forget that he's also big enough and great enough to change things in our home that we've been doing wrong for 10, 15, 20 years maybe. And also as Christians, we're always growing. And so what we knew 10 years ago, 15 years ago is different than what we know now. We are responsible for the knowledge that we have. And so now this knowledge is being presented to you that we are to be making our home more Christ-like, every day trying to be more like Christ, but with his help. And so going to God and saying, God, I know I failed. I'm going to give some examples. These aren't prayers to just say after me, not that kind of prayer, but maybe it's, God, I know I haven't been diligent in reading my Bible and I've been letting other things get in the way. So because I know that you are worthy of my worship and I need to understand who you are to worship better, please help me to make that standard in my day, benchmark in my day. Maybe it's, God, I know that I'm not coming to you when I need help. I'm trying to do things in my own strength. And so please help me to turn to you first. Help me to realize that in that moment, I can say, God, I need you, because I know you're big enough to do that. We can go through prayer. Some people have like a system they go through. So one I've heard is ACTS, ACTS. And so you start with adoration and really, talking about how great God is and just like reminding yourself of his goodness and greatness. And then you go on to confession and you confess what you have been doing wrong. Then you go to thanksgiving, giving thanks for the things God has given you, and then supplication, God, please help me with these things. I think that's a great thing to do. But sometimes in the day-to-day, when we're running around and busy with our home, and especially if our home is really disorganized and we feel like there's so many things that we're having struggles in, it's okay to just let up the, God, please help me in this situation. Maybe like for us, we have a son with seizures. And so in the midst of that, it's, God, please just help us get through this. I'm not able to go through a 20-minute prayer at that moment. It's just, God, we need help right now. Maybe it's, God, just give me patience to answer this child. It's not I have time to walk away and deal with the situation. We have a lot of little kids in our house right now. And so if a child walks up to me, with poop running down their leg, I might need to pray for patience and, the words of kindness come off my tongue while I'm chatting with that child.
The ability to keep it down.
Yeah, and the ability to not throw up. But that's not going to be okay, hold on a second, I'm going to go pray and then I'll be back to deal with the situation. No, I need to ask very quickly, God, please help me with this, and know that God hears that prayer too. So this is something you can do right now. What are things in your house that you would like God's help to change? Because none of these things can we change on our own accord. I mean, we can try really hard, but we aren't actually producing any righteousness or anything that's going on in our house that's going to be long-standing if it's just within our own efforts. And if we think that we can attain it on our own, we need to pray and ask God to remind us that we need his strength in each thing we do. But there is I can do all things through God who strengthens me. And if it's something that God wants you doing in your home, he's going to give you the ability to do that. But we need to rely on him when we do it. So I hope that that's helpful. That's the second step in our Creating a Biblical Home series. Please come back for the next step. We'll see you guys later on Herding Little Cows to the Glory of God. Bye.